This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 1802. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. This is a show today that deals with rejection, job search rejection. And in the times that we're living in now, it is going to be much more prevalent. After all, millions are looking for work. There could be a limited number of jobs. Let's be smart. Let's be proactive in preparing yourself for dealing what will be inevitable. You're going to get turned down at certain places. I hope you find this show helpful. I hope you don't need this show, but you're always better to be prepared rather than unprepared. And with that, let's get going. I wanted to talk with you about dealing with rejection in your job search. And I've said many times that interviewing, looking for work, is very much like going on blind dates. You talk to people, you engage in conversation, your heart opens up, and at times you're going to get squashed. Unfortunately, the same thing is true in job search, whether that's your resume doesn't get a response from an employer, whether you're dealing with someone who, shall we say, the recruiter who doesn't submit your resume, whether you go on an interview and you think you've nailed it and nothing comes back, or you get the feedback too late. Whatever it is, it's very much like a dating situation where you've opened up, you really, really care, and now rejection. How do you deal with it? Now, the first thing is to remember that, like life in general, there's going to be rejection in the process. Not everyone likes you, right? And I'll simply say that if you're in a situation where, you suddenly get a rejection where you think you've done great, and suddenly you're getting the turn down, the first thing to remember is to do a quick mental review. Were there any signals that you received in the interview? Were there any signals from the recruiter to suggest that you didn't do well or that there was some deficiency? So with that mental scan, because that's really going to be your learning, starts off with that. Then from there, I would suggest reaching out to the organization. Could be a recruiter, which is the ideal situation. You contact the recruiter and say, hey, look, you've made the decision not to submit me. You've made the decision that I'm not right for this job. Any feedback that you can give me? I want to be clear. I'm not here to get into an argument with you. I want to learn how you evaluate. I want to learn what you looked at that made you say no. And then you listen casually. You don't get into arguments. You listen and you learn from that. Because what it tells me is that if you got turned down and you had the actual experience, maybe you didn't really make a strong case, that you didn't present your knowledge around that subject well, and that you really need to practice your interviewing, because if you legitimately had the expertise, then you could have sold it better. So I'm putting the onus back on you, again, to learn from this. Now, this may hurt to hear, but it's really part of your growth professionally, is to learn how others are receiving the information that you're sharing. Got it? Then from there, if you have to lick your wounds, go lick your wounds. And one of the things that you can do in doing that is reach out to people. Review situations where you have people who love and support you, who really care about you, and say, I'm hurting today. I got turned down for a job I really wanted to get. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even submit me. Or I got turned down for a job today. I interviewed with them 4 times, and they chose someone else. Help! And take in the support. Let them buy you lunch. Let them take you for coffee. Let them listen and give you some words of support. Next thing I'll suggest is put yourself in the situation of reviewing your successes, because you got to get out there again. And you got to do it fast. Being in the cave, being in your home or apartment, going, oh, woe is me, isn't going to help you get to the next role. You have to get out there as quickly as you can, having licked your wounds, having obtained support, having looked for stuff that will nurture you again. And then get out there and start networking some more, talking to more recruiters, reaching out to friends for suggestions of organizations that you ought to be in contact with, doing all the things that you've been doing up until this point successfully, while at the same time improving the way you present yourself so that if you were in the situation where you got turned down, despite having the experience, you're able to tell your story more effectively. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few more ways to get information and advice from me. First of all, there's my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. I have more than 8,000 blog posts there that you can watch, listen to, or read that will help you find your next job. In addition, if you're interested in my coaching you, at the site there's a button there that says schedule. Schedule time for a free discovery call, schedule yourself in for coaching, interview preparation coaching, salary negotiation advice, coaching related to hiring more effectively, managing and leading, helping you to be a better executive in your organization, and overall being a better employee of your firm. If you have questions for me, you can ask them at wisio.com/The Big Game Hunter. That's WISIO.com/The Big Game Hunter. The price at Wisio is less than 1/3 of what I'm charging at my website. And I'm doing this because I want to benefit my subscribers here and on YouTube, and only you're going to know about it. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Mention that you watched or listened to my content. I like knowing I'm helping folks. Once we're connected, it's nice to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you from time to time about how I'm helping. You can also watch me on TV. Did you know that? If you have a Fire TV or a Fire Stick, download the JobSearchTV app for Apple TV, Roku, Sony, Samsung, like 90 different TV platforms. You can watch me on either Zingo TV or BingeNetworks.tv. On YouTube, subscribe at JobSearchTV.com and have access to thousands of videos I've created. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Be great!